This match will resume in 5 minutes. Spectators are reminded to please be aware at all times of the dangers of a batsman hitting the ball to the boundary, and please refrain from moving from your seats during play other than between overs. Thank you. Returning to the middle, umpires Mike Burns and Rob White. Your scorers for this match, Terry Owen and Quentin Jones. Northants in the field, captained by Josh Cobb. Keeping wicket and substituting for the injured Ricardo Vasconcelos, Adam King. Opening the innings for Pakistan, Imam ul Haq and Fakhar Zaman. The target is 274.
Hello, hello.
From the pavilion end, Brett Hutton.
Yes. Correct.
Imam Ul-Haq on strike.
Cheers.
Do you want to pick up?
Thank you. Say that again, sorry.
Do you want to pick up?
I can do, yeah.
Yep.
Cheers. Alison Mitchell there with the team in the Stumped podcast. But back here at Wantage Road, the players are back out for the second innings of this tour match between Northamptonshire and Pakistan. And the Pakistanis are chasing 274 to beat Northamptonshire here. A career best. Six not out for Josh Cobb, steering Northants to 27346. And we're watching Imam Ul-Haq and Fakir Zaman open the batting here. For the Pakistan tourists, Brett Hutton from the Wantage Road end is coming in right arm over, and Imam gets an edge pass, second slip down to third man, which is not saved and goes into the fence for the first boundary of the chase. So Pakistan up and running here, 274 their target, and you're with myself, Alex Winter, and Nikesh Rughani. Hello again.
Hello, yes, competitive total put up in the end, wasn't it, by Northants, 273 for 6, despite loss of the wicket off the very first ball of the match, and then some middle order struggles as well. Fantastic innings there from Josh Cobb, 146 not out.
Hutton goes in, and Imam whips this away through mid-wicket. More runs here, running out towards the signal box to our left-hand side. Safiei gives chase from mid-on. They turn down the third run, so there's 2 more to Imam, 6 not out. All Pakistan's runs so far. And no real support for Cobb, was there? A few other little contributions, but no one could go past Hutton's 27, actually the second best effort on the card, lower down the order. And it's Hutton here with a new ball in his hand. First appearance of the season for he. Goes in past the umpire, and Imam back and across, works this towards backward square leg. He set off for a single that wasn't available, sent back by Fakir, and the over comes to an end. So first over the chase complete. Northants trying to defend 273 for a shock here, but the Pakistanis will hope, Nikesh, I suppose, for some decent batting practice once again, because their batsmen rather failed really at Beckenham on Saturday in the opening tour match.
Absolutely, bailed out in the end by Imad Wasim down the order.
Bowling from the
although today we're looking at Fakir Zaman, who's about to take strike. We all know if he gets going, then he could could get some very quick runs on the board. Doesn't mess around, Fakhr Zaman. All-action cricketer.
Oh, he's a fantastic player. It was his runs in the Champions Trophy final that sent Pakistan on their way. 76 for him at Beckenham. And facing Nathan Buck here from the Wilson end. Runs in towards it with 2 slips. And Fakhr playing forward here, pushes out to extra cover. And there is no run. Imam made 39 at Beckenham on Saturday. First match of the tour, so it was a decent start between this pair. 92 they added for the open. Slumped to 164 for 5. And then a fine partnership between Haris Sohail and, as Nikesh was saying, Imam Wasim down the order. Unbeaten century for him. And Pakistan making big runs. 3, 5, 8 for 7. Far fewer needed here as Buck comes in. This is driven away. Only as far as mid-off. And there is no run. Josh Cobb down there, the captain today for Northants, returns the ball to Adam King, who's keeping wickets here for Northants, a member of the Northants Academy. Ricardo Vasconcelos struck on the helmet by Mohamed Hasnain in the first innings. A nasty blow to the side of the head. He retired hurt. Has come through the concussion protocol, but not being risked here in the second innings. Buck runs in, right arm over, and this is a short delivery that hurries onto Fakhr. He goes to pull and mistimes it, and the ball runs very slowly out towards Ben Curran at mid-wicket away to our right-hand side, and there's no run. Third man and long leg out here for Buck. He returned to the One Day Cup side for Northants here on Friday. Again, the Northants lost to Worcestershire. Chasing a modest target, made a complete mess of. Pakistan showing them how to do it here. They will try to as Fakhr moves this through square leg and gets a single. Curran going back to his left-hand side. And Fakhr is away. 7 without loss in the second over here. Pakistanis go to Leicester on Wednesday for a T20. Third match of their tour before the series against England begins the weekend. T20 one-off T20 International in Cardiff, and 5 ODIs before the World Cup gets underway at the end of May. Buck moves in again outside the off stump, and a mistimed cut from Imam Al-Haq here. Ball runs slowly out towards point. Tom Sol in there, and there is no run. There's a long old wait before the World Cup gets underway. May the 31st, Pakistan's first match in the World Cup.
Absolutely, yes. And all eyes, as we said earlier on this morning, will be on India versus Pakistan at Old Trafford. A couple of matches down the line as well. What a contest that should prove to be, hopefully.
Buck runs again from the far end. This is forced away through cover point by Imam Al-Haq, and he gets a boundary out towards the covered stand away to our left-hand side. Classic shot, really, just shuffling back, punching very pleasantly across the square and out towards the Clark Road away to our left-hand side. And I was about to say the covered stand has no one in it, but I've spotted a lone spectator there in that covered stand. Regardless of whatever's happening here at Wantage Road, regardless of if it's 39 degrees of heat wave, there will always be someone in that stand over there. 2 overs gone, 11 without loss.
Well, you want to be there in 39 degrees, wouldn't you? For some shade.
It'd be pretty hot under that corrugated iron roof. Stand down there.
Lots of Pakistani school children on the opposite side of the ground. Chance of Pakistan Zindabad. And that boundary was hit.
Hutton, Wantage Road end, goes in. The left-handed Zaman who carves one away past mid-off for 4 runs. That's the Fakhr Zaman we're used to seeing, throwing his hands at the ball full outside the off stump. And he took a big stride down the pitch and crashed it away towards the curry bar away to our right-hand side for 4 runs. 15 without loss, and looks as if Fakhr wants a new bat here.
Yeah, immediately he wasn't happy with that one. Perhaps a bit of damage done after hitting that boundary. Couldn't resist the curry stand earlier on. Went down for some veg samosas.
Any good?
During the interval, very nice indeed, yeah.
Good stuff. Doing a good
Feeling recharged now.
Hutton goes up again in his short sleeve shirt. And this is turned off back of a length by Fakar out towards square leg, just round to our left-hand side. And there is no run. A good queue in front of that curry bar all day, down to our right. Wonderful smell coming from that part of the ground as well. Variety of offerings down there. It's as if one of the chefs is preparing a chapati as we look across as Hutton goes in again, and this is pulled away out towards the covered stand. I think it's cleared the rope all the way for 6. It has. A flat 6 by Fakar Zaman, just back of a length. And Fakar quickly shifting his weight back to heave it away. And you can hear the school children again from the far side of the ground. 21 without loss.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around. Man, it's all or nothing with him. He'll certainly fancy himself here today. 274 the target. Decent looking wicket. Ball coming on nicely so far, early on in this innings.
Deep square drops straight back here. Long leg is up, and second slip has come out to mid-wicket. As Hutton goes in again, 21 without loss, and this is just defended out into the covers. There's no single available there. Fakir wanted a run, and Imam sensibly sent him back. Now, here's the nephew of Inzaman al-Haq, is Imam, who was in his time known for the odd run out, and Imam himself was involved in a quite comedic run out here last year.
So it's just 5:25 now. So listeners on 5 Live Sports Extra leaving us now. If you want to continue listening to us, you can do so on the cricket section of the BBC Sport website. But we can now hand you over to Simon Mann and Simon Hughes for commentary of the Sunrisers Hyderabad versus the Kings 11 Punjab in the Indian Premier League.
Back here online, and Fakar has just slapped away another boundary, wide of mid-off. 25 without loss in the third over of the chase here. Hutton going in the end past the umpire, and this is work to short mid-wickets from the crease. And there is no run, but a very expensive third over there, and the Pakistan chase very much up and running. 3 overs gone, 25 without loss. Their target 274.
Absolutely. Imam ul-Haq, as you mentioned there, the nephew of the great Inzamam ul-Haq, legendary Pakistan batsman, chairman of selectors these days as well. Imam, a slightly different figure to his uncle, very slim, lean looking, glasses on as well every time he comes out to bat.
He was here last year, Inzi, legend of the world game. Spotted him this time as Buck runs in from the Wilson and right arm over, and this is left outside the off stump by Imam, taken by Adam King, who's keeping wicket here for Northants. A new name to myself, part of the academy here at Wantage Road. Adam Rossington and Ricardo Vasconcelos, the two keepers in the Northants first team squad. Rossington not playing here today. Saw him going through his sprinting drills at lunchtime. Vasconcelos, having been struck a painful blow on the head in the first innings, not risked here in the field as Buck comes in again. This is pushed away by Imam, down to third man away to our left-hand side. Zabe going across to do the fielding. And Imam goes to 11, 26 without loss. In the fourth over here. It's difficult for Pakistan because they've got to go into T20 mode all of a sudden on Wednesday and at the weekend, and then revert back into 50 over mode to play England in those 5 one-day matches. Deep square drops back and long leg is up as Buck goes in again. This is pulled out towards the deep square fielder, but it's going to go all over his head for 6. No, it's wonderfully batted back into play. And they're going to come back for a second run, but that is a tremendous piece of fielding from Ben Curran out on the deep cover fence away to our right-hand side. It was a good strike from Fakar against the winds that maybe just held up a little bit. Curran, always running out of room going backwards, managed to leap up over the boundary and slap the ball back into play to save his side 4 runs. Cracking effort.
Brilliant bit of fielding. Absolutely brilliant. He thought for a moment that it was coming to him, that he was able to try and leap up and grab a cat. It was too high, and a brilliant bit of fielding.
28 without loss. Pulled away again, this time all the way for 6. That is out of the ground. That's into the gardens on the Wantage Road away to our right. No mistake this time, and that was heaved away by Fakar over the curry bar, out of the ground. And you can hear the school children on the far side of the ground enjoying this bright start provided by Fakar Zaman. He's up to 23, 34 without loss in the 4th over, and we're going to need a new ball here as well.
Yeah, another souvenir for one of those houses over there. I'll come back home this evening to a ball in the garden. This is what Fakar Zaman does. He just latches onto anything just marginally short, anything over pitched as well. He's onto it. Always looking to attack is Fakar Zaman. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't, but it's been a very good start for him so far. On to 23.
Umpire's not quite happy with the ball that they've plucked out of the box here. So they'll retreat away to our left towards the pavilion to collect another one. Maybe they got the wrong set of balls by the boundary. Zabe went across, picked up the box. Umpires are White and Burns here, not happy with what they've selected. So Rob White has come to the boundary's edge to our left. And somebody's going to have to get a new box of balls here from the umpire's room. 3rd French window along, away to our left-hand side on that pavilion balcony. The elite level cricket room, as they call it. First door, and the home dressing room, then the umpire's room. The Pakistanis in front of their dressing room before the doors in front of the club offices at the end of the pavilion on that top tier. 1 or 2 in the bottom tier, enjoying the hospitality down there. You can settle in for lunch. I'm sure a few may have as a Monday afternoon treat.
I just wonder if that box of balls brought out to the umpires there was a selection of new balls, perhaps. This ball has already taken a bit of tap from the bat of Fakar Zaman. Perhaps just opting for a slightly used one, even though we are just into the 4th over of the innings here.
FM up right now for BBC Radio Northampton listeners. Northants have set 273 for 6 here. Josh Cobb making a career best 146 not out before lunch. He won the toss this morning, stand-in captain for the day. Josh Cobb found little support from elsewhere, but his innings was a fine one. 12 fours and 6 sixes, but only 23 from Ben Curran, 25 from Charlie Thurston, making his first appearance of the season. And then a comeback innings of 27 not out by Brett Hutton, pushing Northants to 237 for 6. But in reply, Pakistan off to a flyer thanks to the bat of Fakhar Zaman, who's 23 not out and has just put a ball out onto the wanted road away to our right-hand side. Imam Ul Haq, the nephew of the legendary Inzamam, not out, and Pakistan are 34 without loss in the 4th over. Back with you online, and we have a new ball, which is good news. And Nathan Buck from the far end runs in towards us to bowl to Imam, who's forward, pushing down towards third man away to our left. And they go through for a single. So 35 for 1 here. Indeed, the scoreboard to our left is flicking over in front of the signal box. Imam has 11, Fakir 24. And Buck under some pressure now. Moves in to the left-hander, who's pushing, missing at one just outside the off stump. It's a bit of a handsy push away from his body. And I don't think it quite carries. She's down low to Adam King, the substitute wicketkeeper here for Northants. End of the over, 4 gone. And Pakistan chasing 274, are 35 without loss. Here on BBC Sport Online, with myself, Alex Winter, and Nikesh Rakhani with you at Wantage Road.
Good start here for Pakistan. Fakhar Zaman 24, Imam Ul Haq on to 11. As you said, they had a good start in that match against Kent. Good opening partnership between these two. That's been a bit of a struggle over the last couple of years or so for Pakistan. Good for them to get a steady, stable pair at the top.
Here's Hutton going away from the Wantage Road into Imam Ul Haq, who's pressing down towards backward point. And there is no run. Slip in place here, Richard Levy quite wide. And third man down in the distance. Fieldsman going through what appears a bit of a yoga regime down there. Backward point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. Short fine leg and deep square, the other man outside the 30-yard circle in the power play here as Hutton goes in right arm over and Imam plays carefully forward and steers a single down towards third man in the distance, running away from the bank of white seats. So Imam goes to 12, 36 without loss in the 5th over here. Pakistan, second match of their tour of the British Isles. Head down over the Severn Bridge the weekend to play England in the only T20 international before that 5-match one-day series gets underway. Hutton into Fakir here, and he pulls viciously out towards deep square. Fieldsman out there down to his left-hand side, makes the save, and they go through for a single. But some real electricity when Fakir's on strike.
Yeah, really gives the ball a wallop, doesn't he?
.37 without loss, and Fakir has 25 now. Hutton, with his stuttering start to his run, goes in with his dark hair, and Imam presses off the back foot only as far as backward point. And there is no run. Tom Sole in there. Sole, who played fairly well for his 22.
In fact, I think that is Fakhar Zaman on strike at the moment. It was Imam with that vicious pull shot a couple of balls ago. The way he hit it, it did certainly look like it came off the bat of Fakhar Zaman.
Hutton in. And this is just bouncing a little bit actually on the left-hander, who pushes away towards extra cover. Just popped a bit off the pitch there. It's a used surface, been used for 2 games already. Warwickshire game here on Easter Sunday. And then the Worcestershire game on Friday. Wicket played very well both times, more of a low-scoring affair. On Friday, Northants failed to chase 255 as Hutton goes in and across the pitch. Played back to Hutton's left hand, and the over comes to an end. So 5 gone, 37 without loss. Imam has 12, Fakir has 25. Pakistanis chasing 274.
Yeah, very good start indeed from the Pakistanis. As you'd expect really with Fakhar Zaman out in the middle. It's not going to die wondering. Looks like Nathan Buck to continue from the far end as well. Fakhar Zaman on strike. And in comes Buck. This one just defended into the leg side by Zaman. Rare defensive shot from the left-hander.
Bowl him a decent ball. He will treat it with respect, but anything remotely offline, anything remotely short, he's going to have a good old thrash at it. Made 76 in 59 balls at Beckenham on Saturday. A bigger playing area than here at Wantage Road. It's already lifted a couple of sixes.
Here comes Buck. Into Zaman again, who drives this through the onside. Is it going to beat the mid-on fielder? Yes, it is. Sloppy bit of work there in the end. And it runs through to the boundary for 4 more runs. More chance of Pakistan Zindabad from the kids over on the far side. Little Pakistan fan club over there. There's a few more scattered around the ground here today as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
And that's another boundary to Fakhar Zaman.
Wasn't the best bit of fielding by Mohammed Azawullah there, back in the Northants side today.
Buck in again, this time short and pulled through mid-wicket. It's racing towards the boundary, a bit of work to do for the sweeper, who gets there in the end, diving away to his right. And it's another couple of runs to Fakhar Zaman, who moves on to 29. In fact, 31, as the scoreboard just ticks over. Pakistan at 43 without loss in the 6th over. Scoreboard over to our right, having a few issues once again. As Buck comes in to Zaman, this time defended into the onside. A better delivery, just short of a length. Zaman just defending that off the back foot. A pretty regulation field at this stage of the innings from Northants. Got a point. Cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, short fine leg, and the third man in the deep mid-wicket. The 2 fielders outside the circle as Buck comes in once again to Zaman. This one wide and driven through the covers. 4 more runs. Another crunching shot through the offside there from Fakhar Zaman. Straight off the middle of the bat. Too much width offered by Nathan Buck. And given the full treatment, he moves on to 35.
A little bit of width is all he needs to flash his hands at it. And it was crunched away through the covers.
Yeah, the change of bat certainly doing him no harm. I'm sure he's got 3 or 4 very good ones in his kit bag. So 1 ball remaining in this 6th over. Fakhar Zaman on strike once again. Nathan Buck making his way in past the umpire, and this one short and pulled through mid-wicket. He doesn't even bother trying to run for that. 4 more runs all the way along the ground. And a boundary to finish off the 6th over. Fakhar Zaman quickly on to 39, and the Pakistanis bringing up their 50. 51 without loss after 6 overs, chasing 274.
Wasn't too much wrong with the delivery, was there really? It was just slightly back of a length. And just something in his eye line to run back to and viciously pull away. Timing the ball really well so far has been superb to watch.
It was only 10 or 15 yards to the right of the sweeper out on the boundary there at mid-wicket, who didn't even bother to try and chase that one down. Such was the venom it was hit with. Imam ul Haq at the moment, unbeaten on 12. He's got the best view in the house of Fakhar Zaman, hitting the ball to all parts. It's going to be Brett Hutton to continue on this pavilion end. A few words with Captain Josh Cobb as to what the plan should be. Imam ul Haq on strike. Hutton comes in. He's down the wicket, Imam, and smashes this past mid-off. All the way along the ground once again for 4 runs. A diving effort there at mid-off, down to his right, but the ball was pretty much past him as he hit the ground.
Imam fancying a piece of this opening attack now as well. Shimmy down the pitch length, ball crashed away. As you say, it was past Nathan Buck at mid-off before he could even think about getting down. Great starts here with the tourists. And unless Northants can strike quickly, this could be over in steady time.
I think sensibly the slip coming out. Extra man in the cover region now. At extra cover, short extra cover in fact. In comes Hutton again to Imam. He flicks this one out towards deep backward square leg for a single. Over to you, Fakhar Zaman. 65 without loss now, Pakistan. In fact, I think that scoreboard's having a bit of a nightmare now to our left, and it's 56 without loss, actually, after that last boundary from Imam ul Haq. Hutton round the wicket this time to Fakhar, who drives this straight to Josh Cobb at mid-on.
Yeah, they've got, well, both scoreboards are out because they've been giving some of Fakhar's runs to Imam on both scoreboards. The computer board in front of me is also incorrect.
Safe to say Pakistan are bossing it at this stage there.
Correct.
Let's just go with that.
Absolutely, yeah. Can live without the details for a moment.
Here comes Hutton back around the wicket to Fakhar Zaman, and this one called wide in the end. It was a short delivery. Fakhar Zaman, not the biggest man, and umpire saying that went over head height. So 274 the target for Pakistan to beat Northamptonshire here in their second tour match. Hutton into Zaman again, who drives this one past extra cover. 4 more runs. Just a little bit of extra width offered once again. And Zaman with his chance to get his hands through that one, finding the middle of the bat once again. And similar result, 4 more runs.
A lovely piece of timing again, just a little bit of width, wasn't there? Able to throw his hands at it. Raced away from Zabe at extra cover. Don't ask us what the score is, mind. All 3 boards that we can see are showing different numbers.
In comes Hutton. Back around the wicket to Fakhar Zaman. This one full wrapped on the pads, but they're going to get through for a leg by. Yes, they are. Looks to be straight onto the boot of Fakhar Zaman, that one. Looks in a bit of pain.
I think the board to our right has actually got the total correct. It'll flick over, or should do in a moment, to 62 without loss. But they've been allocating, well, they've just got the 2 batsmen the wrong way around.
Fakhar Zaman wearing the number 39. Imam ul Haq 26 on his back. Patten comes round the wicket to Imam as well, and this one short and left outside the off stump, and that is a dot ball to finish off the 8th over.
That's the only cricket going on there today. One Day Cup resumes tomorrow with fixtures at the Racecourse Ground, Derbyshire, Warwickshire and Durham, Lancashire, which takes place at South Northumberland Cricket Club up in Gosforth. So Durham taking their match on the road against Lancs. Big game as well, with both teams going well in the group stage so far. Essex, Sussex is at Chelmsford, Gloucestershire, Glamorgan at Bristol and Surrey, Hampshire at the Oval. All those games are 11 o'clock starts. And then Northants back in action on Wednesday, where there are 3 games. Worcester Notts at New Road, Middlesex, Somerset takes place at Radlett. They're the 11 o'clock starts. And then Northants here against Yorkshire as the day-night offering begins at 1 o'clock. And as ever, God willing, I'll be in position come Wednesday lunchtime.
I think the batsmen are quite confused about the scoreboards as well. Currently discussions taking place with the umpires as to which one is correct.
I've no idea what this delay is for here. I think Northants have got a substitute fielder on now to our left-hand side, but I don't recognise him at all.
Yeah, no name and number on the back.
I think they have settled for 61 without loss.
Start of the 8th over. Single there, down towards mid-off for Fakhar Zaman. It's Ian Holland into the attack. Imam back on strike. Holland comes in once again, and this one just defended straight back to him.
Proved a bit expensive on Wednesday against Worcestershire in Holland. 5 overs for 39. The context of a low-scoring game was very expensive.
And he comes once again to Imam. This one fuller and played down to mid-on. They think about a single, decide against it. I think both scoreboards are in sync now. 62 without loss they have on them. Pakistan in the 8th over. Fakhar Zaman 31, Imam ul Haq 30. In comes Holland once again. This one just defended into the offside by Imam. No run. We see Mohammed Hafiz just walking along the boundary in front of us. 38-year-old veteran of Pakistani cricket. Looks like he just went for a net session there. Holland in to Imam again, who flicks this straight to the mid-wicket fielder. No run once again. Dabs this one down to backward point for a single.
It's been going a while now, the professor, hasn't he?
Yeah. Not been bowling in recent years, of course. Question marks over his action. Still pretty consistent with the bat at the top of the order. We see Holland into Imam once again. Just clips this straight to mid-wicket again. Another dot ball. And that is the end of the 8th over. Pakistan 62 without loss. Very good start, as we keep saying. 274 the target.
I think The computer scoreboard is now, well, no, I don't think it has got it right as well, because it's allocated one of the 6s so far to Imam. It's Fakir who struck a 6 over square leg, and the other one out the ground over long leg to our right. They've allocated one to Imam. Generously.
He'll take that, I'm sure. As Brett Hutton continues round the wicket to Fakhar Zaman, a short, slower delivery, and Imam thought about pulling that one over the leg side. He realised it was a slower delivery and then pulled out of his shot at the last minute, straight through to the keeper. Good change of pace from Brett Hutton there. Hutton continuing round the wicket. In past the umpire. Full delivery and driven straight into the stumps at the non-striker's end. Middle stump out of the ground. Umpire running for cover as well. And in the end, a dot ball, but he certainly got good contact onto that one, did Fakhar Zaman, straight off the middle of the bat. Unfortunately for him, 2 straight. A good opening stand here for the Pakistanis. It has been a problem area for them in recent times, as has most of their batting through the middle order as well, as Hassan comes into Zaman, who slays this one through the offside, didn't get all of that, and just out of the reach of the cover fielder, and they're going to jog through for 2. He's looking to play that a little bit straighter, just skewing it towards the cover fielder there, diving away to his left, and getting away with one, Fakhar Zaman. Yeah, Pakistan, they still haven't been able to fill the void, I don't feel, left by Yunus Khan, Misbah ul Haq, even Mohammed Yusuf in the middle order.
Yeah, it's a lot of experience, isn't it?
Hutton in again to Fakhar Zaman. Another slower delivery, and this time picked up and pulled over into the leg side, backward of square, and 4 more runs. Just rocked back and just helped it on its way, that one. Another boundary there to Fakhar Zaman. Score moves on to 68 without loss. Zaman on to 37.
Got the right man back on strike on the scoreboard now, right to our right.
Just squeezed into the offside towards point. They think about another single. Imam sending Fakhar Zaman back. Seems to be a thing about Pakistani cricket, doesn't it? If they're not hitting boundaries, there's always some sort of action out there in terms of comical running and things like that. One ball remaining in this over from Brett Hutton. Round the wicket again, short and pulled out towards the square leg fielder, who takes it on the first bounce. It's a single to Fakhar Zaman to finish off the 9th over. Pakistan 69 without loss.
A couple of miscues here, could have easily found a fielder, but the progress continues. I'm sure good viewing to the Pakistan batting coach away to our right hand side, Grant Flower down there. That's on the committee balcony in the Spence Pavilion. Hot drink in hand, got his shades on down there. Sun's gone in. We've had the benefit of a settled coaching staff for quite some time, Pakistan. Mickey Arthur is head coach. Grant Flower and Azam Mahmood we've talked about earlier on today. Settled backroom staff.
Then comes Ian Holland into Fakhar Zaman, down the leg side, and signalled wide by the umpire. Another run to the Pakistani total. And the players certainly large chunk of the squad were at Azhar Mahmood's residence a few days ago for a little get-together. Of course, living in the Surrey area, Azhar Mahmood, for the last number of years. In comes Holland to Zaman again, who just guides this to short third man, no run.
A substitute on there for Northants. Again, I've no idea who that might be. One of the lads out of the academy. I think Mickey Arthur went to Leicester football yesterday. He's an Arsenal fan.
Oh, is he? Poor old Mickey Arthur then.
Yes.
My club doing them over 3-0. Thank you very much. As Holland comes into Zaman again, this one full and just flicked out towards mid-wicket for a single. Did you spot him on the TV?
No, I had an interview with him at the weekend and he said he was heading up. He was a Arsenal supporter from afar. Chance to go to the King Power yesterday. But not a good day for the Arsenal.
Comes Holland to Imam this time. He pushes this one to mid-off. Run through for a single. For anyone who is following the English Premier League, Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea all doing their best not to finish in the top 4 this season. Keep dropping points. Holland in once again, this one driven by Zaman, straight back to him for no run. Good firm contact there from Fakhar Zaman, but straight back to Ian Holland. Comes once again Holland in this one, full and flicked out towards deep mid-wicket. And they just jog through for an easy single. Fakhar Zaman now on to 40. 73 without loss Pakistan in the 10th over. Chasing 274 for victory here. Very, very good start indeed for the tourists. So Imam back on strike and Holland comes in. This one guided down towards third man, but stopped by the man inside the ring. They scamper through for a quick single. And that's the end of the 10th over. Pakistan 74 without loss.
Yep, good piece of fielding. And a good power play there for the Pakistanis. 74 without loss, chasing 274. Say power play down. I think that is the 10 over mark, isn't it? Because we started this end.
That is 10 overs gone.
Yeah, scoreboard an over behind away to our right hand side. There's the applause. Very generous it is too for the return of Mohammad Azharullah. A cult hero really in these parts. Back here today, may only be for one day, but he has actually been in some steady form, taking wickets for the Northants' second 11. Spent the winter playing domestic cricket back in Pakistan. Here he is then, running in right arm over. Starts with a bumper to Imam, who pulls to short mid-wicket and there's no run. Played against Warwickshire seconds at Desborough, 3 for 28, and Leicestershire seconds here, and took 3 for 62. So some wickets for Azharullah. I did see someone down as Azir-Ullah with an I instead of an A on a scorecard for the second 11, and I did wonder, but assumed because it was spelt differently that it was somebody else. But it is the Azharullah who goes in here and gets clipped down to long leg for a single. So Imam goes to, well, who knows what he goes to. Here the score goes to 64 without loss. In the
74 without loss.
Yes, sorry, yes, the scoreboard to our right hand side is counting backwards now because only 8.3 overs are up there.
In fact, 75 with that single. I think Imam 33 as far as we can tell.
Fakir back on strike. And he pulls Azharullah, miscues it, but just over the head of mid-wicket. And Josh Cobb retreating away to our left-hand side. And they come back for a couple of runs. So 77 without loss. But the individual batsman scores anybody's guess, because of plenty of confusion earlier on. As it turns down beneath us, FM update now for BBC Radio Northampton listeners, so bear with. Pakistan going well at the start of their chase of 274. Fakir Zaman and Imam ul Haq have taken the score to 78 without loss in the 11th over. Bright start for this pair, particularly Fakir Zaman, who scored a match-winning 100 in the 2017 Champions Trophy when Pakistan beat India. He struck a couple of sixes already, one that cleared the perimeter wall of the ground into the wantage road away to our right-hand side. Bright start. Northants have at least got something to bowl at, courtesy of Josh Cobb, who made a career best 146 not out earlier on, but no one gave him any real support, and just 3 other scores of 20 on the card for Northants, who at the moment look to be well under par, with Pakistan going really well, 79 without loss in the 11th over, chasing 274 to win. Back with you online, and Imam pushing a single through square leg. No catches in place here. Third man long leg, deep square and deep cover have gone out as Azza goes in, right arm over, and this is pushed to extra cover by Fakir Zaman, and Ian Holland comes up to do the fielding, and the over comes to an end. So 11 down, and Pakistan 79 without loss, chasing 274. And so far, very plain sailing, Nikesh.
Absolutely, these two doing a very good job indeed. They haven't really taken too many great risks. They've just put away the bad balls.
A high-risk move, I would have thought. But
even the not-so-bad balls, just any slight width they've latched onto very quickly.
Pakistan's run so far.
Slightly short of a length.
Yeah, it was followed that up with
real support.
And pulled and hooked pretty well.
When Overton and Gregory came back for the second spell later.
This one.
So Holland again from the Wilson end has got very regulation field here for these middle overs. Comes in from the far end, bowling right arm over, and gets just gently steered by Imam down to third man to our left hand side. Buck is there running away from the players' pavilion, and they get a single. So the score definitely goes to 80 without loss. But I'm told the scorer's got in a bit of a mess, because when Ben Curran tipped the 6 that might have been back into play, both the Optus scorer, who does the computer version, as Holland bowls, and this is driven away towards mid-off, and they scamper through for a quick single to Cobb on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Fakir gets another run, 81 without loss. They both, the Opta and the scorers themselves, gave 2 runs, but it was only a single in fact. So the ball was in the air for that amount of time, then it took 1 run, and that's caused all manner of confusion. As Holland comes in, and Fakir is forward, pushing out towards mid-off, and there's no run. Holland, in fact, coming across himself to collect.
I'm not sure how one of the scoreboards was 10 runs behind at one stage, though.
Holland again from the far end. And this is driven nicely by Imam up towards mid-off, and they scamper through for a quick run. .82 without loss in the 12th over, 274 to win. And a bit of solid form for this opening pair. Building on their starts at Beckenham on Saturday, as Holland comes over the wicket and gets driven down towards mid-off again by Fakir. And they go through for a quick single, warmly appreciated by the Pakistan balcony. Away to our left-hand side. I can only imagine some milestone has been overcome here. I think he's got to 50.
50 for Fakir.
Yes, There it is. He has got 50.
It says 45 on the scoreboard, and there were shouts from the Pakistan balcony as
Holland comes in. This is turned away by Imam through square leg. Zaber's out on the square boundary to our right hand for a single to end the over. So 12 gone, and the score definitely now is 84 without loss. And Zaman goes to 50, I think, in 38 balls with 7 boundaries and the 1-6. So it is a 6 apiece. The 6 that was hit out of the ground was actually off the bat of Imam. Over deep square, away to our right-hand side. I think that's where some of the confusion has stemmed from. But Fakar has 30, Imam has 30. Fakar has 50, Imam has 31, and the score after 12 overs is 84 without loss.
Yeah, some shouts from the Pakistan balcony saying "Hamare paas 50 hai," which means, according to us, you've got 50. So he raised his bat. And there we have it.
Here's Azarwala for his second over with his very flat run-up, and this is pushed away from the crease by Imam. Through square leg, they run the first one hard, but Buck is in quickly off the mid-wicket boundary to our left, and they get just a single. So Imam goes to 32, 85 without loss at the start of the 13th over here, Pakistan, chasing 274. Well, at least the Pakistanis knew what their teammate was on.
Yeah, can we get their scorer to operate these scoreboards? Seem to be on it, don't they?
Yeah, presumably they had their own analyst down there flicking through the numbers. Azar is in, and Fakar is defending out towards mid-wicket. Richard Levy is there, and there is no runs. Over the winter, Azarwala was playing for Pakistan television in the Pakistan domestic competitions. Played 4 first-class matches and 3 List A matches, all before Christmas these, and took some wickets along the way as well. 4 against Karachi, 7 in an innings against the Southern Gas Company. This is a swing outside the off stump and a miss from Zaman. Nothing for him against a team calling themselves ZTBL. And then 10 in the match against my favourite Pakistan domestic team, the Water and Power Development Authority.
Wow.
Who I think Azar did play for earlier in his career before he first came to the UK. Azar in here past the umpire, and this is turned away through square leg by Fakar. And again, Nathan Buck coming in to do the fielding away to our left-hand side. They get a single, 86 without loss.
Did he have a bit more going on up top on his head? A bit more hair when he was rocking it here at Northampton?
Not really, no.
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 Never been truly blessed up there, has he?
Sadly not. He turns, shirt untucked, and goes in again, right arm over, and Imam pushes, not past backward point, a half save there. Good piece of fielding from Tom Sol, tumbling to his right hand side. They will get through for the single. 87 without loss. Now I heard they were trying to do away with the teams in Pakistan that were owned by the likes of the Water and Power Development Authority and go back to the old regional teams, likes of Karachi, etc., Lahore. As Azar goes in again, and this is pulled away by Fakar out towards the mid-wicket fence, away to our left-hand side. Nathan Buck again doing the work, this time to his right-hand side. Just a single more, 88 without loss in the 13th over.
Yeah, there has been a bit of uproar in Pakistan because they have announced, I think, the sort of rejig of their first-class system. And I believe there are 8 first-class teams from now on. That's what will be the case. And a lot of people in Pakistan saying that's simply not enough because of the fact that there's a population of 190 million people. If you look to England, for example, 60 million population, and there are 18 first-class teams. In India, there are 37 first-class teams. Of course, much bigger population of well over 1 billion. But just the 8 teams playing first-class cricket from now on in Pakistan.
Will there be a layer below that then, at a sort of development?
I'm not
layer?
sure. I assume there will be, because there'll be a lot of cricketers who won't be getting first-class contracts.
Definitely. 88 without loss here, the Pakistanis. And Ian Holland from the far end is bowling to Fakhar Zaman, who opens the face on this and steers it to Azhar at third man away to our left-hand side. And they go through for a single. 89 without loss. Zaman to 53. I think the scoreboard to our right is now up to date. I think both scoreboards, well, not quite. I think the one to our left has still got a few too many in favour of Iman. But we shall see. It's in our on strike here, facing Holland, and he comes forward and also just gently opens the face, steers it down to Azarullah. They're going to come back for a second run here. Very sharp second run, and had the throw from Azar been a little better, then Imam would have been really struggling. Scrambled back. Adam King, the deputy wicketkeeper here for Northants, had to go a few yards to his right to take that. Through at the stumps, and in that motion it gave Imam the chance to get home. There was a sharply taken second, but they picked out the right fielder. In Azarullah away to our left-hand side. Holland comes in again. Was very full. Gets driven down the ground. It came off the fingertips of the bowler and almost into the non-strikers' end stumps. In the end, they go through for a single, so 92 without loss, and Imam goes to 36 now. And in South Africa as well, there's changes to their first-class system, abandoning the franchises. They're going back to the traditional old clubs for next summer as Holland comes in. This is swung up over mid-wicket by Fakhar Zaman, and he gets a boundary out towards the bank of white seats on the far side of the ground. That was a bit of an ugly hack, really, sitting in his crease, but he picks up a boundary and goes to 57, 96 without loss in the 14th over.
Yeah, it was in his arc, though. Anything that full and into his sort of pads region. Big gap over on the leg side as well, past mid-wicket.
Holland in again, and Zaman trying to go leg side again. This time only finds short mid-wicket. And there is no run. Ben Curran in there, who pulled off that spectacular piece of fielding earlier on in the innings. Pull out to deep square, looked at be sailing away for 6, and then didn't quite carry the rope, and Curran was able to leap back over the boundary to bat it back into play. It was a tremendous piece of work as Holland comes in again. This is a slower ball turned away by Fakhar out to Zaid, running away from the big screen away to our right. And they get a single to end the 14th over. 96 without loss are the Pakistanis, chasing 274 to win here.
Zaman's 50 came off 38 balls with 7 fours and 1 6.
Confirmation of Fakhar Zaman's numbers. It's been entertaining to watch as ever. But Imam's played nicely too. 3 boundaries and a 6 for him as well so far. It's been an excellent opening partnership. No trouble at all. See this chase rattling along and above a runner ball so far. Azhar to continue from the wanted road end. Bowls to Fakhar, who's forward, just defending out on the onside, and there's no run. As we're back playing club cricket in this country. Appeared for several second 11s last summer. Was released by Northants at the end of the 2017 season. But he also, like the Pakistani bowlers, does nothing for the over rate, because he charges in off a very long run. Away he goes again. And it's pulled away. No timing on the stroke from Fakhar, but he squirts it away past mid-wicket for a couple of runs. Charlie Thurston now patrolling the Clark Road side of the ground to our left, collects down to his right, and they get a couple more. So 99 without loss here, the Pakistanis, and Fakhar goes to 60.
So is he a freelance cricketer now then?
Yes, yeah. I'm not quite sure where I think he was playing as a professional somewhere in club cricket. He might have been in Staffordshire last year, actually. Ball's full here. This is clipped away to mid-wicket. And Richard Levy gets down to his left-hand side of the field. And there is no run. Here is certainly full-time professional career came to an end a couple of years ago. But he hasn't chucked the towel in just yet. Moves in again here in a short sleeve shirt. Past umpire White and decent length. Brings Thacker forward, pushing back a little awkwardly to the bowler's left hand. And there is no run. Yeah, last summer he was playing for Port Hill Park in the North Staffordshire and South Cheshire Premier League.
It's a pretty good standard up there.
Yeah, both Staffordshire and Cheshire, one of the stronger minor counties. As it goes in again, very full, driven, thickish inside half of the bat, out towards Levy at mid-wicket, no run. Traditionally have a strong link with Derbyshire, Staffordshire. Although Warwickshire have muscled in on the arrangement in recent years. They have a more formal link-up now with Staffs. .99 without loss. Azza in again, and this is up in the air over mid-wicket. It's going to land safe. Josh Cobb jogging back towards the signal box away to our left-hand side. They turn down the third run, I beg your pardon. Lifted up over the leg side by Thacker. Didn't time it at all well, but got enough bat on it to get it up over the infield. But only for a couple of runs. Does bring the 100 up. 101 without loss. Great start here for the Pakistanis. Thacker has 62, Imam 36. And after 15 overs, the Pakistanis are going very well indeed. Here on BBC Sport Online. Myself, Alex Winter, and Nikesh Rukhani with you here on the Kent Turner Stand balcony.
Yeah, after 15 overs, both scoreboards now in sync with each other. 101 without loss. Thacker Zaman 62, as you say. Imam ul Haq at the other end, going nicely as well on 36, 274 the target as Ian Holland continues. And this time Imam down the wicket and dispatches this one over long on. 6 runs into the crowd there on the opposite side of the ground. And Imam ul Haq getting in on the action as well. Seen some big hitting from these two so far. Does look a good wicket to bat on.